spent 27 years in a prison cell, cold concrete, iron bars, and a world that had forgotten him. Every day he woke up not knowing if freedom would ever come. But there was one thing he refused to let them take away: his mind. And in the darkest nights of his life, a poem became his shield. It was called Invictus, and it saved Nelson Mandela's spirit. In 1964, Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment for fighting apartheid, the brutal system that divided South Africa by race. He was sent to Robben Island, a place designed to break men. Prisoners worked under a burning sun, hammering rocks until their hands bled. They were forbidden from reading newspapers or writing letters freely. Even the guards called them by numbers, not names. But Mandela found freedom where no one could reach, in words. One day, through another inmate, he discovered a poem written a century earlier by an English poet named William Ernest Henley. Henley himself had written it while recovering from an amputation, when pain and despair surrounded him. The poem began with 4 words that Mandela would never forget. Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. Every verse spoke of resilience, of refusing to surrender even when fate seems cruel. Mandela memorized it. He repeated it silently in his cell, in court, and during endless years of isolation. When anger tempted him to hate, he recited, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." And those lines, those 16 simple words, became the anthem of his endurance. They reminded him that while the system could imprison his body, it could never imprison his will. When Mandela finally walked out of prison after 9,855 days, he carried no hatred, only strength. He later said, "As I walked out the door toward my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness behind, I'd still be in prison." That's the power of perspective. That's the power of words. Invictus didn't change his world, it changed how he saw it. And that made all the difference. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Sometimes the strongest weapon is not a sword or a fist. It's a poem whispered in the dark by a man who refuses to break.